While Minshew Mania and Gardner Minshew's time in Jacksonville the last couple of years has been amazing and fun in a lot of different ways, let me be very clear. Gardner Minshew's time in Jacksonville should be up, and he needs to be traded immediately. Now, before I continue on with this video and sound like the world's biggest Minshew hater, let me be very clear. Me, Jaguar fans, in the entire city of Jacksonville loves Gardner Minshew. He is an ultimate competitor. You see it in his work ethic. This guy comes in and busts his hump every single day. You saw it at the collegiate level back in his days at ECU and then Washington State when he was a Heisman finalist. I think he was like top 5 in voting. Then he comes to Jacksonville, takes over Nick Foles after Nick Foles goes down with injury and is playing phenomenal in his rookie year, getting the team and the fans hyped up. Then into the 2020 NFL season, this guy goes 1-7 as a starter. He has a 7-13 record as a starter. And while not all of that's his fault, Doug Marrone and the team within itself is definitely to blame for some of it. Gardner Minshew just does not have the winning pedigree to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. And after his history here in Jacksonville with how loved he was, and now that the Jacksonville Jaguars have their quarterback in Trevor Lawrence, Gardner Minshew needs to be traded. Because let me be very clear about this as well. Gardner Minshew's best day is Trevor Lawrence's worst day. And I mean that in the most respectful way possible. Gardner Minshew, we love you. But Trevor Lawrence on his absolute worst football day is Gardner Minshew on his peak day. Let me be very clear about that. Now, I understand I do sound like a hater, but you know what was the final straw for me? The preseason game on Saturday versus the Cleveland Browns. Gardner Minshew was 4 of 8 for 25 yards and interception as well. Granted, the interception was at the end of the half. He was trying to throw a Hail Mary. I get it. I'm not even going to critique a preseason game too much because I am very adamant about not overreacting to preseason games or even news in general when it comes to the Jags. I'm a very level-headed Jags fan, but I was adamant, very adamant about Gardner Minshew being off this team before the preseason game, and that was just the cherry on top for me. CJ Beathard was brought here to be the quarterback number 2 and to be a veteran to Trevor Lawrence in his rookie season. Gardner Minshew was never going to be starting ahead of Trevor Lawrence. Now, I will be honest, Gardner Minshew has looked phenomenal for the most part in these training camps and throughout OTAs, even though he definitely struggled at the scrimmage when I was there. Gardner Minshew, from all the reports and even with my own eyes, being there at training camp, has looked phenomenal. But at the end of the day, he's playing his own team. They're not out there trying to hit Gardner Minshew, and this is not real live football action. You got to see it Saturday versus the Cleveland Browns versus the second stringers. And as I said, I'm not one to overreact, but that was just the final straw on top. CJ Beathard is supposed to be the quarterback number 2 for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And hell, honestly, the Jags might even cut Gardner Minshew the same way that they did with Leonard Fournette. Before the 2020 NFL season, all of us Jag fans were looking around like, what did we just do? Leonard Fournette led the team in scrimmage yards back in 2019 when Minshew Mania was living on. Then the Jags just cut him? Are you kidding me? But then we saw the development of James Robinson, the undrafted free agent, and how well he panned out to be for the Jags. Literally the only form of life on that offense last year. I'm not saying that's going to be the same case with the Jacksonville Jaguars, but honestly, give this guy an opportunity to go succeed somewhere else and go compete for a starting job, whether that's Philadelphia, whether that's with the Washington football team or a handful of other teams. Even if he's not a starter, he has the quality to be a great backup in the NFL right now, and he's still young. Give him some potential and give him an opportunity to go succeed somewhere else. He will never get an opportunity as long as Trevor Lawrence is healthy. Let's be honest about this, you guys. I love Gardner Minshew to death, and I love everything that he brings to the table, except for the winning pedigree when it comes to winning football games, because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. At this point, I would rather see Gardner Minshew go succeed somewhere else and have an opportunity to showcase his talent and compete for a job than be stuck here in Jacksonville where he knows he does not get the same love like Trevor Lawrence does. And also, he's just never going to get an opportunity for as long as Trevor Lawrence is healthy to even be the quarterback, because now it's even looking like CJ Beathard is going to be the quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars, at least in the backup position. A lot of people still love and support this guy, even though we all understand, and even he knows that Trevor Lawrence is the guy moving forward. He knew that as soon as the Jags clinched the number 1 overall pick. Urban Meyer himself even said that when he first got to Jacksonville, he didn't have a great relationship with Gardner because there wasn't a lot of communication there. It was kind of an unspoken relationship between them that Gardner Minshew was not going to be their guy. But Urban Meyer even made it very clear before the preseason game that he's earned a lot of respect for a guy like Minshew because he's an ultimate competitor. The guy comes in and works his tail off every single day. And you see that with his integrity and his work ethic on and off the field. Minshew just wants to be the best guy possible. And even if that means taking a backup role, he's going to do it if he absolutely has to, even though he wants to be that starting quarterback. Because I don't care how great Minshew plays, and I don't care how bad Trevor Lawrence plays in preseason, during training camp, during practice. It's never going to be good enough. Trevor Lawrence is the guy moving forward. Jag fans, I'm sorry. We have to take our emotion out of this. Trade Gardner Minshew. You're going to get a 7th round pick out of it. Honestly, I might be the first to call it. The Jags might even cut Gardner Minshew. I hate to say it, but they might even cut him, as ridiculous as that sounds. I don't even know if he has trade value at this point for even a 7th round pick, because that is the absolute most a team would trade for Gardner Minshew at this point. Now I'm going to stop with all the hate. I understand that this basically sounded like a hate trade rant video about Gardner Minshew. That's not supposed to be the case. I'm just trying to keep it real with you guys. Even as a diehard Jags fan, I can put my emotions aside when I want to, and I can speak real. Gardner Minshew should no longer be with the Jacksonville Jaguars organization, and I think that Cleveland versus the Jacksonville Jaguars week 1 of the preseason proved it to me. I don't care how phenomenal he plays in week 2 of the preseason versus the Saints. Gardner Minshew's time in Jacksonville should be up. Now that's it for this video. I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Do you guys think that the Jags should keep Minshew on the roster for this season, or do you think that the Jags should trade him? Let me know, what do you guys think Urban Meyer's going to do with Gardner Minshew moving forward? And I'm actually very curious to see what Urban Meyer does with quarterback number 2 at the beginning of the season. I do believe it'll be CJ Beathard, but we'll have to wait till week 1 at NRG Stadium versus the Houston Texans. Make sure you guys go follow me on all my socials. I'll put them down in the description below as always. And if you guys are new to the channel, thank you guys so much for the support. Make sure you guys like, share, and turn on notifications for more Jacksonville Jaguars and NBA content that I do here on YouTube. That's it, Jags Nation. I'm out, boys. Peace.